everyone. This is Rebecca from Rebecca's Beautiful ASMR Addiction. I am so thankful that you are here today with me. I hope you're doing well, and I hope that you will find some interest in this fun craft. And I have no doubt that many of you have seen these already, because it's just going like wildfire, at least on my Facebook page for crafts. And it's I learned from a Facebook page called Easy Crafts, and she just takes cupcake holders and turns them into beautiful roses and other types of flowers. And so I thought these videos are so short. We're not getting a nice, enjoyable, lengthy video of the sounds, because these are so cool. The sound and everything. So these are the cupcake holders that I started with and experimented with first. My husband went out and bought these for me. So what I've done is practiced, so I could make a video that's going to actually work and not come out bad like my lemon cookies. But anyway, let me just run down real quick the supplies that you need. A cup needs to be close to the size of your cupcake holders. And then you need a stapler, and you need a pair of scissors. You need a nice crinkly work surface, just because to protect your table and every surface from your drippy glue. So hot glue gun and some extra glue sticks, because you're going to go through the glue. And don't forget your robin's eggs. Nope, just kidding. You don't need robin's eggs. That's just my decoration. Check out these nails, you guys. Rabbits. They're so cute. I love the rabbits. I'm so into Easter right now, even though I don't have my grandchildren with me or my kids on the school bus or anything. Let me just show you one more thing. I'm going to start with your cupcake holders. Now, see, I liked the ones that I used, but I wanted to have a little bit more variety, especially with this kind of flower, because I thought these stripy ones would actually look better on it. So, alright, let's just go ahead and get started. These are the pastel colored package. Vibrant and then striped right here. Peachy color, kind of orangey. I just have to decide what color combinations I want here. This is purple and pale purple. Those would look good together. And I'll start with making a rose. I seriously doubt whether any of these combos are going to be realistic looking, but this is something you can totally have fun with. So you just take your cupcake paper and flatten it out and to the best of your ability, fold it in half. And then fold it again. Alright, so you've got 4 quarters. These are very, I paid more for them, and they don't have the white lining. It's not even lining, it's just, the others have white on the inside, and this is just all one solid color, but that's all the vibrant ones are the same way. And the texture is a little bit different, if you can tell by the crinkle. So, yeah, I got all these from Amazon. I'm just going to be folding here for a little while, and I'll tell you the next step when I get to it. Although, I can tell you that I did all this practicing with these other roses and such, and I never could master the art of how many do we use. I watched this other gal's video a million times. Never figured it out. So I would have to say that it's up to you, and I'll give you some ideas along the way. I'm curious how many of you have seen the video shorts on either YouTube or Facebook showing how to make these. I had seen a couple of them, and then my sister, who knows I like arts and crafts, she sent me a link to the Facebook video short that gives a brief showing, no talking, she doesn't talk, just briefly shows you, and that's all popular right now. But I loved the sounds when I heard them, so I thought, man, I love the sound of cupcake papers. Cupcake paper cups. I actually really didn't know what to call them when I went to look them up on Amazon, but I found them. Something I noticed on Amazon and other websites is that they have to call their product by many different names just to make sure that they get and capture people's searches, because so many people call them different things, right? So I've had that happen many times. The little pokey things that you put through notebook paper to hold them together are not called pokey things. Called brads. I never would have thought of that. So you put it through the hole of your notebook paper, and then once it's through, then you bend 2 metal ends apart in opposite directions to hold your paper together. I could not find them on Amazon because I did not know the magic word. Finally something showed up, and I was like, okay, what's the key word? What's the key word? They're brads. brads, okay? But there's all kinds of brads. So, go figure. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those and 5 of the other. I'm going to keep going here because I want my rose to be really full. So I'm pressing down on the crease here, but it's not absolutely necessary. And that's because it's really just a guide to help you find where your halfway mark is when you put it on the glass, and you'll see what I mean. I think I'm going to start cutting these now. Let me show you. It's the side that is open right here. See how this side opens? That's the side I want to cut a shape. And it's just half round. And that is because I want my petals to not have a sharp edge. I want them to look more soft and round. You will notice if you give a look at the rose that's showing in my basket that the edges are gently round, gently round. It isn't a remarkable difference, but it's just a more realistic difference to me. And do I ever cut the same way twice? No. What is wrong with me? Can't seem to follow one pattern. All I know is I want to take off that sharp edge. I just think it's amazing that that somebody actually figured out how to make paper roses. How did they do it? Okay, see this rose, like I was saying, these edges are rounder because of the cut. Now, why don't we go ahead and start loading the petals. They're not petals, they're petals. Petals are on a bike. No, that's not right. It's the opposite. Petals are on a bike and petals are on a rose. There we go. I got it right. So, your first one does not get glued. Just slip that on where the crease is and make it the same shape as the cup. Okay, it's not going to stay. Don't worry too much about that. Now, put a little glue on the edge to hold on your next petal. Try to remember to put your petals in the same direction. And I can tell you already that I know I'm going to get it wrong. Alright, so I'm going to just go every other one with this rose. So I'm going to go dark and then pastel. You don't actually need a whole lot of glue because the papers do kind of hug each other, but it sure helps to not have to fight, holding it down. And you don't want them to come apart later. See this nice round edge? That's just going to be the outside edge of your petal. And it's hard to comprehend, but one of the sides is going to be on the outside, and one of the sides is going to be the inside of your flower. So outside the cup is the outside of the rose, and inside the cup is the inside of the rose. This has to reach on over to both sides here, this one. Okay, that's our first round finished. I don't have enough of these, so I am going to make some more. I can just tell by looking at it that it's not filling up fast enough. Your center in the middle of the cup should not... Oh, shoot, I just realized I can't use this until I cut it. Anyway. Oh, that was a bad cut. Oh, well, I'm going to use it anyway. Yeah, the center of your cup, you should not be able to see it. Petals need to come together in the middle. To make that beautiful center of the rose. So I'm just going to keep on. I mean, if I press hard on the inside, I could keep on making a hole, but I just want my rose to be super full. I really don't know how many petals a rose typically has, to be honest. My rose is just going to be my rose. I'm making rose to make my rose. Oh, I'm so tacky. Makes me think of, dad jokes. Dumb dad jokes. Well, I'm kind of like that, I guess. Okay. I'm going to need quite a few more here, I think. Guess you can use less petals if you don't press hard into the middle of your cup. Because the idea is you want those petals to start joining together in the middle. You can see that my hole is closing up a little bit. I think 3 or 4 more would do it. It's already actually starting to look pretty to me, even from this side. I just love these colors, of course. That's my thing. I think I've already switched directions twice on this rose. I swear I just can't seem to... That's crooked. Folded that all wrong. Come on now. Get in the middle. Helps find a crease to begin with in one of the pleats on the end. see how the hole is closing up in there, see? I mean, I could push back on that and make the hole bigger again, just to get as many in there as I could, and maybe someday I'll experiment with that, but I believe the gal that I watched on the video didn't put nearly as many petals. I think she used like maybe 12 or something, if that. I'm not sure. It just depends on how loose. How many different ways can I say the same thing? Okay, hole's closing up here. Just kind of letting it happen naturally. That has more dark on that side, so let's put a light colored one. I suppose at some point you can start thinking about just a couple more here. That hole just won't close. Now I forgot what I was saying. Doing that. It's really hard sometimes with all these pleats to find the center. Well, now I just keep forgetting what I'm gonna say. Sometimes when I'm working, I lose my ability to think about other things. Is this gonna be enough or what? Are we done yet? Bottom line is I really, really love the sound of these crinkles. And I've already said that. I know. Alright, just one more of these, I think. One or not? This purple paper is so different than the other. It's much more stiff. And since they cost more than the others, I'm thinking they're probably a better quality. I'm betting that a real cupcake would come out of these much more easily than the other ones. They seem to have like more of a stiffness. We are almost finished here. Watch the gap close. Could probably stop there since you can't see the hole anymore, but now I've folded them, I'm committed. And I just think the more the better. And my last row is going to be all dark ones. And that is because I'd like for the center of my rows to be darker. And I'm not sure if a real rose is really like that. The trouble with this way of doing roses if you do two colors is that it's gonna be on the outside and the inside. So anyway, all dark right here, and we're done. Hole is closed, and see, there's no gap. We are ready to reveal. Just gonna smash it in there a little bit more, and voila, there's your rose. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness. Now, the thing is, I'm gonna clean up here a sec. Okay. The thing is that your rose is really kind of tightly closed, and if you want it to look just a little bit more realistic, you can do like I did with this one and pull the petals back a little. Now, so your real rose, of course, has this folded over edges, and you can kind of do that. One could work a little harder than this to get it looking a little more realistic looking, and ideas formulated in my mind, but I didn't want to do too much more work than this at the moment anyway. So I'm going to call that good, set it aside, and try the other kind of flower so you can see how the other one is done. Okay, so what to choose for that other? I thought it'd be kind of fun to try to make a carnation looking flower, but not in this video. Basically, I just want to show you the methodology. How about some green stripes? And if I do a green stripy flower, maybe I'll try to put a yellow center in it. And this kind of flower gives you a little bit more control over where your colors go. See, it's like this. It looks sort of like a carnation to me, but try something just a little bit different on this one. I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to spread it out too much. 5. Because all you need to do is get your stapler in there. 1, 2. That's just enough to make your center. Alright, so you just get your staple into the middle. Boom. Alright, it just has to stick together, that's all. Alright, spread it out just a little bit so I can get to the cut. The choice is yours as to what size your petals will be, so you decide. Right up to the edge is a good place to stop. I suppose you could go further in, but it doesn't usually show once you once you ruffle these. Okay, I left myself with a really big petal. That's so stupid. Let me see if I can make it the appropriate size. Oh, the big fat petal. That's not going to work. Oh well. go around and kind of give your flower the edges that you want. I mean, you don't even have to cut them if you don't want to. But if you want it to look, you know what, if you wanted to make a carnation, you could just do a bunch of little triangle cuts in the end, tiny ones, and then it would look like a carnation. This is going to look more like, I don't even know what kind of flower. What kind of flower does that other one look like? I mean, a rose is obviously recognizable, but that's a fat leaf too. I'm going to cut more of this off. It's just wrong. Alright, we'll see how it turns out. I mean, it can't be completely a loser, because these are just nice colors. And I'm just going to squish them together in the middle, up around your staple, and get them centered into the center. You know what? The green and white is so pale. I don't really even see the green hardly. Oh, it'll be alright. Let's just finish it. You know what would be cool too is if you could find a miniature cupcake. And then that could be your center, and it would look like, you know, a center of a lot of different kinds of flowers that have just that yellow in the middle. Oh no. It's alright. I mean, you could play with the petals a little bit more and try to arrange them. And you could probably even trim off the top of the yellow in the middle if you wanted. There's all kinds of things you could do to make your flower look more realistic. Maybe more petals. I don't know. That's okay though. Alright, now I want to make another rose. And I think I will go with the red theme. And if I could get another tone of red, maybe orangey peachy, that would be interesting. Look here, that 3 right there is kind of cool. Well, let's just start folding. And I'm thinking about this one. Should I cut or not? Oh, not. No. I'm not going to use these scissors because I'm going to show you what it looks like with a pointy edge. So it'll be what it'll be, and it will be still pretty. And if all else fails, you can always trim the edges afterwards. And I believe you could even take the edges and roll them, curl them on the end to look more like a realistic rose. There really isn't a whole lot more to tell you instructionally about how to make these flowers as you've seen everything so far. So we can simply chat if you like. Well, you know what? I suppose I'm going to talk whether we like it or not, because that's what I do. That's what I do. Chat, chat, chat. Talk, talk, talk. Okay, so we're getting somewhere here. The pastel peachy color is white on the inside, and the darker jewel-toned red here is, again, like I said before, the more stiffer paper with no white on the inside. And I'm really glad that I got that style, because I like the variety and the sound of Crinkles, but it lends so much more to the flower. The dark contrast is going to look very cool, just like in the purple rose. And I hope you're able to see everything that I'm doing clearly enough as well. Do you notice that thing 1 and thing 2 have crept in closer? My two kitties. They really like the roses, and they really like the red. But I have to tell you, this red almost looks orange, which is why it's pairing so well with the peach-colored cupcake holder paper thingy. What do you call them? Paper cupcake holders? Are they cupcake papers, or are they cupcake baking cups? Are they... what are they called? Okay, I got glue off. Getting glue stuck on my finger. I have to admit that I have burned myself once so far, but I'm not telling you about it. Alright. How should I apply these? Glue, more glue. Okay, so maybe layer them one color at a time. I'll just start with the solid peach to begin with. I don't know if it makes all that much difference, because they all end up looking mixed up no matter how you do it, because one color's on the inside and one color's on the outside. So let's just see what it does. So peach, peach, peach all around. I don't think I folded enough though, once again. Maybe I can remember this time to go in the same direction. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so next should be the just going to use all of the solid peach up and make sure we cover the whole area. Make it even so that there are a similar amount of petals. Okay, see, if you look on the outside, are there any gaps? I might need one more. I don't know. Yeah, let's just make sure there's no gaps. See, there's kind of a hole somewhere here. Right there. Okay, I knew it. There. So we'll just do equal amounts. There now. That kind of fixes that gap. Okay. Now we want to put on the stripy ones. I'm not so worried about there being the same kind of pattern as the peach, because the peach kind of sets the outer edge of the... No, it doesn't. I get so confused, you guys. The inside and the outside, whatever's inside is also outside. She whiz. There's just... I can't figure it out. It's like magic. Okay. Well, we're just going to try this. See how it goes. Alright, so there are equal amounts here of the peach stripe. So we are going to try to do all the rest in red and fill that hole. That hole has to disappear in the middle. And I'm not pressing as hard, so we may actually use less petals than in the other one. So many ways you can do this. So many ways. I wonder what it would look like to do a solid color. See how the hole's filling up more quickly because I'm not pressing as hard on the inside. What kind of a red would you say that is anyway? Is it orange red or red orange? Alright. I've got back. Okay. I think it's done. Look, the hole's covered. I don't need that last one. Let's see how this goes. Wow. I love that. The red is the center. Oh my gosh. I love it. Not loving the spiky end so much, but if I wanted I could cut those off. Well, anyway, this is nice. I like this. I love it. So, look at the difference though. There is a big difference. Well, not humongous. Anyway, I love it. What should we do next? Let's make I like them the best. I just do. And I'm so drawn to this blue. Gotta do it. See, here's another blue. Add the stripes to it. I just love the stripes. Why? I don't know. I don't know about a whole package of them. Now, what should be our other contrasting color? Certainly doesn't have to go in threes. Just use your imagination. You could make a rainbow rose, and that would be fun too. Let me just use a whole bunch of different colors all the way around. That would be interesting. But no, I think I'm going to go. Gee, this is hard to decide. Yellow. Those two colors together are so fun. Alright. Not like the blue and the yellow are going to make green, but something about that combination. What does it remind me of? Flowers and sky? No. I'm going to try a different cut, you guys, and see what happens. If I cut off both ends, what will it do? I don't know. But we'll see. We'll find out. What does blue and yellow together remind me of? What is it? What is it, you guys? Not a bumblebee. Bumblebees are black and yellow. What in nature? Probably just flowers. Maybe? No. There are very few flowers that I've ever seen that are a combination of blue and yellow. Alright, well, I am going to try and leave that subject alone. If any of you are listening at this point, you can give me your thoughts as to what these two colors imitate in nature. Just sun and water, as far as I can think of. So, I said I was going to stop thinking about it, and I will. Okay, it's done. Snip. Snip. Gosh, I could do a just yellow and blue, and that would be so grand together. It would be super bright, vibrant. Thinking about it. Oh no, I need some white in there. I need the brightness of the other one to kind of counteract the drama of those two dark colors together. The yellow and the blue are actually really very authentic colors, whereas the red doesn't really look red. It looks orange. Coral. Salmon. I don't know. If it was a crayon, it would be called red orange or orange red. I learned that. I did learn that in art school. We did tie-dye one time. My teacher says, "Oh, you like the chartreuse?" I'm like, "Char what?" "Oh." And that's kind of a green yellow or a yellow green. When you buy a package of crayons, they don't expect little kids to know what that is. So they call it yellow red. Yellow orange. Now, yellow green. Get your combinations right back. And let's see. I think there's a color called ochre. And it's kind of a goldish color. Goldish. The shade of green in it or something. Very beautiful color. It's used a lot to imitate nature, especially in the fall. What other colors do I know? Magenta. Magenta is just a hot pink. Speaking of magenta, makes me remember my last makeup rummage. And in there, it's kind of embarrassing in a way to have this super bright hot pink lipstick in my makeup supplies. But I bought it, just looked at the color and went, "Oh, I love this." And when I bought it, I had remembered when I was in my early 20s and I was wearing that color. Oh my gosh, it looked so good on me because I was young and tan and thin. So when I bought it recently and I tried it on again, I went, "Oh my word, I look like a freaking clown. I'm not going to wear this lipstick." So what I do with it now is I just take a teeny bit of the magenta colored lipstick and mix it with another like pale kind of pink and red. Just mix it and it looks good as long as it's toned way down. Oh, cha-cha. I can't stop talking. What I want to know is why don't I look good in that color anymore? How come getting old precludes you from so many different things? Such a bummer. Okay. I think I have the same amount of everything, but I'm going to make extra yellow so that I can have the more yellow in the middle, which of course now I understand more yellow in the middle means more yellow on the outside. That's okay, but I just like the idea of more yellow in the middle to make the center of your flower. Doesn't really necessarily make it more realistic, it just gives it a certain look. Let's see, do we have enough yellow? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10. This time I think I'm going to just do alternating colors one at a time until we get to the middle. Oh, I was going to explain to you I'm not going to move it now to show you, but the background underneath my cup is just a flattened out coffee filter because I was kind of experimenting with the rows you can make in the same way as I'm doing this. Only much larger and multicolored. See, you can put whatever colors you want on a coffee filter. I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to show you how to do it or anything. It's the same idea as what I'm doing here. But you can cut the edges of your coffee filter first, which you can do with your cupcake holders too, but they don't spread out and get as nicely flat as coffee filters do. So, maybe I'll save it for another video. I don't know. Yeah, I have several. I have many of these coffee filters colored up and ready to go, like the one underneath my cup. I have to master it. I don't know how to do it very well. But they're pretty dramatic. They're really big. They're much bigger than these roses. And I don't think I would have as much of an inclination to use them to decorate in my home. However, these smaller cupcake ones, oh, I just love these. They just fit in so well with Easter and spring. What's interesting about coffee filters too is they absorb color so well. It's like toilet paper. It's just super absorbent, so you can just make these really dramatic designs and colors, but mine didn't turn out so well. Hole's filling up pretty quick here this time. This glue just gets all over everything. There's so much glue on my cup to get off. I've only burnt myself once, like I told you, and it is spliced out of my film. As soon as I did it, I turned the camera off. Can't see it. It wasn't bad. Well, wouldn't you know, there is no extra yellow. I'm not going to bother with it. Totally counted all wrong. There's the perfect number of each. this is it. Teeny tiny hole, but that doesn't matter. It's filled up. Okay, the big reveal. Press in a little. It's even all the way around, I think. Do we need more? Look at this, you guys. I love it. Wow. Press those petals out some. Interesting shape. Doesn't make too much difference in the flower petals themselves. But those colors together, wow. Oh my word, I love it. Love it. Okay, now I'm just gonna, what am I gonna do? See, I could show it to you in my basket. Let me just put this together. I don't know how I'm going to fit all these in there. I'll try. I'm going to have to leave one out, I think. Chicky won't fit. Get purple. Get the red one in there. There's not enough room. What am I going to do? Gotta get in there somehow. I like it. I'll work on it a little bit and I'll show you again here in a second. Isn't this beautiful? This is so much better. The color combination's a little odd, having all these different colors in the same basket, but it works for me. It's going to be a beautiful Easter and spring display in my home. I hope you try it, and I thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.